Marketing Trench is a podcast presenting instant money-making solutions for real estate professionals. Sounds awesome, but this isn't that podcast. You're listening to The Marketing Trench, the official podcast where no realtor gets left behind in the pursuit of building a business they can be proud of. A podcast designed to help aspiring professionals build the foundation of a powerful real estate career. Join real estate experts Ricardo Bueno, Marketing Technology Director at West, Dustin Stevie, CEO of Lighthouse Escrow, and Scott Shang, partner at BuyWise Mortgage and founder of Find My Way Home, as they bring you real-world strategies, marketing ideas, and solutions straight from the trench.
All right, welcome to the Marketing Trench podcast. Today we're excited to be talking about virtual home tours, open houses, all the things that are related to trying to do open houses and show property in a COVID world. And we are super excited to have with us Brad Filliponi from boxbrownie.com. Brad is coming to us all the way from Australia. Hi, Brad. How you doing?
Good morning, mates. How you doing?
Yeah, it's so good to have you here.
No, yeah, thanks for having us. And you got the surname on point, so thank you.
Got it right. So Brad and Ricardo know each other. And again, this is one of those relationships that the guest doesn't like to talk about. But we like to point out that's the connection here. Ricardo, do you mind just setting us up real quick and giving us a sense of who Brad is and how you guys know each other?
Yeah. I think the conversation a lot, for me at least, with agents on the field is everybody's hyped up on how do I do virtual open houses? How do I do open houses? What are the benefits of, like, how do I do it live? How do I structure them as, what if I feel uncomfortable on camera? How can I do it pre-recorded so that I have that prep time, all this, that, the other? I think right now there's been, because everyone's kind of on lockdown, I still need to bring attention to my listings. I still need to, there's two camps, I guess. There's agents who have listings. So how can I put my best foot forward with my listing inventory now? Because if you put your best foot forward with your listing inventory now, you're basically setting yourself up for success when you go on the next listing appointment. Because if you take horrible photos and horrible video and all of that stuff, you don't do a really good job. Like, what makes you think you're going to get the next listing off of this one? So investing in I think, good photos, investing in good marketing, etc., that's always going to set you up for success for the next opportunity. So if you don't have any current active listing inventory, there's still things you can do. And Scott and I talk about, Facebook ads and marketing and building a pipeline of future business. There's still things you can do to kind of generate generate buyer leads. But for me, what's awesome about what Brad does and what their company does is they do virtual staging. They do they literally are the company that can help take your photos, your listing inventory, and just polish it up and give it a kind of just a great presentation. We've had situations where, for example, an agent was selling a property in Yorba Linda, and the outside of the house, it's the only property with a golf course view, but the outside of the house had all dirt patches. It was just torn to shreds. And so we use Box Brownie to do virtual staging on that and to do the image enhancements to give that property the best representation online when it came to publishing it and going online. I think all of that stuff is super, super important. And
you give it a virtual lawn.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So as I was talking to an agent yesterday that she sold a listing sight unseen. She created a 3D virtual tour, and so again, it just begs the question: we are in a situation where, as restrictions like open up, we are going to have to meet the consumer where they are. Meaning there's some people who are going to be totally comfortable. They're roaring and ready to go. They want to sell their house. They're okay with people coming through with certain precautions, of course. There's going to be other people who are just super totally cautious and are not okay with that. And so we just I feel like we have to meet the consumer where they are. And so, what does that mean? How can we leverage technology? How can we leverage social to do a good job, to do an effective job?
Yeah, I think that's a great 30,000 foot. Brad, tell us, first of all, who's Brad and how did Box Brownie come about?
Cool. Well, Brad is Brad. I'm Brad. Yeah, look, I was a real estate photographer here in Australia. We're based on the Sunshine Coast, which is 1 hour from our international airport in Queensland, Brisbane. And I was always a real estate photographer. I love real estate. I never really got bored of the job, but there just came a time in my life where I actually had to outsource my editing work because I was shooting roughly 9 houses a day. Of course, here in Australia, our real estate clientele wanted photos back. Every photo shoot I did one day, they had the photos back the next day. That's how we do business here in Australia. There's no week wait. There's no 3-day wait. It's overnight, and they have them first thing in their inbox in the morning. So
that's nice.
When you're shooting, 7 a.m. in the morning, and then you'll finish off with a twilight, and I have back-to-back shoots. There comes a time where you have to outsource your work. As a photographer, you have no more hours in the day. You spend all day shooting and all night photo editing, and that's really where Box Branding was born. Out of my frustration, I needed the service. And then I thought, wow, I wonder how many other, real estate professionals may use this service, let alone, realtors or property managers or really anyone selling a home. That's when the penny dropped for me. And it's roughly about 7.5 years ago now, I've sort of been, on this, let's call it journey. And here we are today. We just, we're the largest, what we know, photo editing business in the world. And all we do is, edit real estate photos. It's pretty amazing.
So give us a sense of what is all a part of your service, first of all, and maybe even tell us, why did you choose those marketing channels? How are they of value to people who are doing real estate marketing in your experience?
I love it. Do you mind if I share my screen? Is that okay?
Yeah, go for it.
Can that be done? Cool. I'm just going to try this out. First time sort of using this platform, but I think I've got it. Well, yeah, look, hopefully you can see what's on the screen now, but, this is a really sort of, a long deck, but I'll sort of flick through a few things. A lot of people think, Box Brownie, where's the brownies at? But, that's not the case. We are a real estate marketing company, and with real estate marketing, you really want to do one thing better than you didn't do yesterday. And with Box Brownie, we can take an image that looks like this. It does look great in its own accord. But, you add in a couple of photo editing techniques, that really changes the whole look of the marketing. This could really now suit, that homeowner that has family. You know what I mean? The image before looks great, but it doesn't tell the story like that does. And, Box Brownie is all about that. And, we're all about education as well, because, you're looking at the image now, everything looks great there, but, I've got plenty more slides and we can talk about it as we go, but, there is lots that can be done. And we do marketing quite differently here in Australia than abroad. We are used in actually 82 countries now, which is great. We have clientele, spread out all around the world. And, we're all about educating, and especially during these times, you really need to innovate. Otherwise, you're going to get left behind. And, even things like, as we spoke about earlier, like we always, recommend a professional photographer. But, during these times, it can actually be quite hard, even for photographers to get access. And, you really don't want to let that stop you. And, usually the game plan is having good images. You want to have great copywriting. You want to have a floor plan, and you need a 360 tour. Like in our mind, of course, video, as the fifth option is great, but not always affordable for some realtors or owners. But the top 4 we can help you with, and everything's really cost effective. And I'll give you this really quick case study. So like, let's pretend you can't get a professional to the site. Like, we get it; it's pretty crazy out there at the moment. Here's a couple of things I can really quickly recommend. So what you're looking at here is a pre-photography checklist. It's something I wrote because I was a photographer for 16 years. I would give this checklist to every one of my clients. So when I got there, the house is ready for me. Like, as a real estate photographer, you shouldn't be expected to move items or decorate the house. It really needs to be present by the time you get there. And this document will help, not just for photography, but also the realtor sales inspections, because most homeowners don't really know how to properly prepare their home. And if they follow this checklist, it's going to be great. So that's sort of one step. It's on our website. Of course, we can attach this to the webinar later on, but if you text check to that number, you'll get sent this document. But please, you can also email us, of course. But then you've got to choose your weapon. So, as a realtor, everyone's got a smartphone, which is great. And I've got a really cool hack for that later on. But, our prices start at $1.60. So even though these times are really tough, if the agent can gain access to a property, use your smartphone. You'll be surprised at the quality. I'm going to show you that right now. Or of course, any camera, we can work with. But if you've got the iPhone 11 Pro that has that wide angle lens, or you really need to download this app, it's only on iPhones. It's called Camera Pixels Pro, $10 Australian or roughly $6 US. And what it allows you to do is actually exposure bracketing, which is quite special. And I know a lot of the listeners are probably thinking, what is that, Brad? And if you haven't seen our videos, you won't know. But really quickly, so here is where we can get the image enhancement for $1.60. And referring back to that image, so gents, do you really quickly, that image there, any feedback on it? What do you think? Good shot? Happy with that? Quick bit of feedback.
It's nice, it's clean, but it also seems kind of bare. Even though you can tell it's a nice kitchen, it's not super warm and inviting.
Okay, no, terrific, and love that, and keep that thought, and also have a look at the windows. Do you notice anything there?
Yeah, they're all whited out.
The
light
lights blown out.
So we see this a lot in US marketing, and beyond. Here in Australia, there's nothing wrong with that, but here in Australia, if you're a photographer, you wouldn't get a job again, because that, out that window could be an ocean view, it could be a beautiful mountain view, etc., and they're usually a selling point, right? But with that camera app I just spoke about earlier, what you can actually do is bracket. So it'll actually, with our settings, it'll take multiple shots like you're seeing on the screen, and see how you got that window detail outside in that really darker shot. And then what we do for $1.60, whether it's one image on your phone, or if you can bracket with a DSLR or even that iPhone app, which is great, you get this result, gents. That was shot using an iPhone 11.
Yeah.
Yes, the car's outside, but you get my drift. So, to simply buy a tripod with a smartphone holder, download that app for $6, and then every image you see like this will be $1.60. And I'll just go through these shots here, but every shot you see here was shot with an iPhone 11. This one wasn't bracketed. That was a single shot. Notice the grass replacement there, as we spoke about earlier, and we've even changed the sky to a nicer blue. This one was bracketed, but that's one of the before shots. That's the outcome. I'm talking $1.60 here, gents. It's crazy. Here's another one shot on an overcast day. We'll green the grass. We'll fix the sky. I'm sure you get my drift. And it's such good marketing. Like, your homeowner could take these shots. We can edit them, and then you're hitting the market running, without really having any delay, if that makes sense. So I have plenty more, but I can sort of leave that for now and get back to the chatting. But there's no real excuse now, I suppose, for bad marketing. And here at Box Brownie, we have so many cost-effective solutions, and image enhancement is really just where it starts.
I have a question about one of the slides you had earlier. It looked like you had a sort of statistical breakdown of what people are looking at online. You had virtual tours, photography. Can you pull that back up? I have a question about that.
Sure thing. So that is actually an NAR web stat. Hopefully you can see that now on full screen.
Yeah, that's it. So NAR has gone out and done a survey and determined that 89% of buyers want to see a photo online, which I think makes sense. I mean, we've become accustomed to seeing photos online, but I'm really stunned to see that 48% want a 360 tour.
Yes, and I'm sure that will grow. I actually should. I don't know how old this statistics are. It would be the latest one, on the back end of their website. But yeah, those top four, you know, I suppose options Box Brandy can help you with. Neighborhood information is something you can obviously get from Google, and videos. Well, there's numerous ways you can shoot that using your smartphone or even 360 camera. But I think virtual tours is definitely a buzzword at the moment. What's really cool is we've just released our own product, and yeah, I've got examples to show if you want to see that. Yeah.
I mean, so I'm actually going to toss this back over real quick to Ricardo and Scott. I mean, here in the United States, we spend a bunch of money on videos, and I feel like all the hype is around videos. I'm stunned to see that videos are only 27% and 360 tours are 48. Guys, does this resonate with what you're seeing out there too?
Well, the thing that I was going to say, Scott and I, we're often running ads. Whenever we run a video ad compared to a single image ad, the video ad always outperforms or performs a lot better than the single image ads.
It's not a true video ad. It's more of a Ken Burns kind of, you know, Facebook just does it'll thread together images. And so I think it's the movement. It's the thumb stopper, I think.
I'm referring to even like the ad that we did for Cheryl Coleman. She did an actual like drone video and walkthrough of the property.
Yeah, no, I've seen that. But that gets expensive, you know, the drone video. So those types of videos probably perform. Maybe the videos that other people are doing. And
so in the last 30 days, I've had plenty of agents who say this one isn't being marketed on the MLS, so we want to advertise it on social to bring as much attention to it as we can. And they're out doing their Matterports and all of that to highlight the 3D virtual tour. Like I've seen an increase in that just in the last 30 days. But yeah, it is surprising that videos are down at below 50, to be honest.
Brett, can you give us a sense of what the cost of a video is versus the cost of a 360 tour? Like if I'm an agent and I've got, you know, a set marketing budget, as everyone does, and I'm looking at this data, wondering how I should allocate my resources, how much are we talking about spending on video versus how much are we talking about spending on a 360?
Yeah. So I'm just going to scroll down to my, my 360 tours area here. Look, video, I suppose it can range in price, you know, depending on state or country. But look, everyone knows they're not cheap. You know, you're going to be paying a couple of $100 for something that's quality at least, and that can range up to, you know, $1,000-$2,000, if not more. Let's face it. But with our 360 platform, it's really awesome. You can use any 360 camera. Obviously, we have our recommendations, and I actually have a list of, I call it my bronze, silver, and gold packages, just really to suit any realtor's budget. But there's nothing stopping. Look, in my personal opinion, I think every realtor should be buying a 360 camera right now. So all you need is the camera, you need a monopod, and then I guess you need to choose of your choice of platform. Like Matterport is a lovely system. You know, they've been the pioneer for years. Now you can use any camera with their system, and I think that says a lot. And there's numerous options out there, but I suppose I'm going to click and show you ours really quickly. You'll be able to see this screenshot here. What's really great about ours is you just take 360 photos in any room you want to show off. You just take single shots, or of course you can bracket if you want that exterior detail. You upload those photos to our system, boxbrandy.com, and then within 24 hours, we actually build the tour for you. So with all the other platforms, you have to take the photos, go home, upload them to your computer, and then build the tour. And I won't lie, like you'll tear your hair out trying to do it. It's 1 or 2 hours time usually to try and do a few shots. It can blow out time-wise as well. With boxbrandy.com, $16 is our starting price. If you want to edit the photos, that is extra. But we're seeing a big trend of realtors literally just shooting straight off the camera, uploading images straight off the camera, and then us creating tours for as little as $16 to $24 for between sort of 15 and 30 shots. And that's going to really cover pretty much 85% of homes, I believe. And at that price, there's nothing stopping you offering this service for free to win business over and honestly look like a rock star.
And those cameras, I mean, how much do they even run?
Yeah, so great question. US, roughly, I'd say, just off the top of my head, Conversion rates are a bit different here, but I say roughly around $500-$600 max with, for that would be for the mid-range camera, and that's probably with a tripod within reason. The beauty camera I recommend is the Ricoh Z1. Lovely camera. For what it is, it's the best bang for buck, quality-wise, etc. It's what all the pros are using. They're roughly, you're probably paying at least $1,000 to $1,200 US at the moment for those. I think, like any good thing, there's a bit of a, everyone's sort of, it's a big buzzword at the moment. So a lot of people are buying these cameras. I know stockists are stocking up, but they are kind of selling out in certain areas too.
Yeah. I'm looking at it now, and it is sold out on Amazon.
What do some of these services, and I don't necessarily want to point out Matterport, but they're really the most popular one. What does it typically cost? Because I mean, really, what you're looking at is that upfront investment to be able to legitimately offer this service for free. It's going to pay for itself over and over again over time. It's just a one-time investment. But I mean, $16 to do a 360 tour, that just seems like you guys should raise your prices. It just seems so low.
We get that a lot. And look, compared, I suppose, we're the only virtual tour software that's out there who builds them for you, right? So that's a huge win. See, everything's a tax deduction, you get an invoice, etc. But look, the other software are great as well. We're not here to, I suppose, badmouth everyone. Like, everyone's got their preferred choice, if you know what I mean. But what's great about Box Brownie, there's no subscriptions. There never will be. We're not sucking that monthly subscription out of you. You just pay for what you want when you want it. And we're available 24/7 with customer service as well. So you can pick up the phone. Not at the moment, actually, the phones are down, but usually phone, live chat, emails 24/7. And we do things a bit differently here. We're almost a set and forget system because we understand our clients are busy, and we really tailor that market. But at $16, yeah, it's very affordable.
Yeah.
Good for you.
And what's really cool, gents, I'm going to get back into this one again. Where are we? So what's really cool too, in regards to those tours, gents, you've just seen a 360 virtual tour. What I'm going to show you next hasn't hit our website yet. This is brand new. So if you're dealing new construction, so what you're looking at here is not built yet. This is for developers, builders. This is how you sell off the plan. So off builders' plans, architect files. We can even do these off floor plans within reason as well. We'll create a CGI virtual walkthrough of that building or development. Notice that furniture going in and out as well. With our 360 tours, we obviously are the only company who can edit photos as well, drop in 360 furniture, remove items, you name it. It's all an option with Box Brownie. And if you're a realtor and you can't get a photographer at the moment, well, look, as I said, you can build these tours yourself. It's so easy. All you do is upload the photos, name which room it is, master bedroom, living room, etc. And then we'll build these tours for you. It's pretty amazing.
Wow. I have a question. Let me play devil's advocate a little bit with photo editing.
Sure.
What is the best practice for an agent? What kind of conversation are you having with it where you're going to enhance photos? Because you create this CGI environment where maybe it's a completely empty house. So you create this CGI and you have a great design eye, so it looks great. But then when they show up to the house, what do you recommend? What do you recommend? Maybe Ricardo, this is good for you. What kind of conversations should realtors be having with sellers and maybe even potentially buyers too?
That's a great question. I'm kind of on the same. That's a great question. I'd like to know the answer to. What your Belinda agent did is she put disclosures that said this house is virtually staged, and then she had a photo. When you show up to the house, she had a photo taped to the room of what that house could look like.
Great. I will bring up some virtual staging examples, gents. I've even got some where are we? So, look, it's our number one seller all around the world, gents. Sorry, my computer's been a little bit slow. Can you see my screen okay? Vacant room.
Yeah.
Lovely. Well, look, virtual staging is what you're looking at here. There's a vacant room. This is where we put digital furniture into a vacant space. This is to show potential because online, I don't really know what that room is, but you add in furniture and you know instantly that it's a bedroom, right? So good practice is there's a lot of ways around this. Obviously, everyone can market to suit their budgets, but if I was a realtor, I would probably put either both images online, 1 and 2, and then maybe even put a disclaimer on the bottom. This has been virtually staged to show potential or to help visualize or something like that, because buyers can't visualize like the average realtor can, of course. Another great tip is, yes, print this image off, put it in the room. So when it's vacant, they can be walking into either an art easel, a music stand, or even, simply just taped on the wall, roughly A3 in size. So when you get there, you can still visualize that furniture in that space. It's a really powerful tool. It really is. I've even heard of circumstances where they've done that sort of method, but they've turned it around a little bit. So what they do is they actually advertise the property as vacant online. So all the pictures have no furniture. When the buyers get there, they actually set up the art easel. So it's almost like the buyers are expecting it to be vacant. But when they get there, they're looking at the furniture and they're like, oh, wow, this looks great. And I think that's another subtle way as well of using our virtual staging, if that makes sense, gents. It's really powerful. It's $32 per image, and you'll get this back within 1 or 2 days. We guarantee 2 days, but a lot of the time they can get back overnight. And we have 8 different furniture styles to suit, many different genres of buyers. You might have maybe, I always say, you might, have a different, I suppose furniture packages for different markets overseas. You might be trying to, find different buyers and, certain furniture will suit their taste. So it's really customizable. You can even jump on Google, give us a reference photo, and then we can match up that furniture as well.
Okay, so what you're telling me is, like, I really love modern furniture, and I think modern furniture is amazing. So you could put modern furniture in the house, but if I knew that I was selling to Ricardo, who likes shag carpeting and floral print couches, you could do that too.
Oh yeah. So look, let me show you something really special. Yeah, look, this is cool. So if Ricardo had, a Smurf thing going on, we could help him out and then change the decor. You know what I mean? So we can remove
That's the same room.
Check that out. Let's appreciate the Smurf room, right?
It's like
That looks like Baby Blingo's room.
And look, gents, that was a real life example. I know that was from an Australian real estate office, because I gave them a quick call and just asked if they mind if we use this image, because it's just so cool. That really shows the power. But let me really try and show off. Oh, it's next anyway. Right. This one's cool, gents. This one's called our virtual renovation. So this is like, it's almost like virtual staging on steroids. This is where we can take an image that looks like this, a little bit run down. Buyers will really try and talk you down. There's that hazy window again, gents, as I spoke about earlier. But with this is where we can take an image like this and check that.
Interesting.
So,
flooring, you change the paint.
And that's all it is, gents. A bit of paint, a bit of flooring, a bit of furniture. You could even back this up with tradesman quotes. So once again, you might market this property, and then when the buyers get there, you might have this sitting on an easel and go, this is your potential. Hey, and here's the tradesman quote. This is going to cost you roughly, let's call it, I'm just trying to figure, $10,000, right? And you could be like, hey, here's the tradesman quote, and here's the guy who can get it done. I can recommend him. He does a lot of my clients' work, and you can really help sell the sizzle. So this one here, we're knocking out walls to the left. It's really like magic. The right-hand side stays the same of the image. It goes on, like here's a kitchen rehab we've done, and here's a kitchen remodel. So here at Box Brownie, we work with anyone, builders, architects, developers, interior designers. So obviously people can get very scared of this edit. But if you market and use it correctly and obviously treat your buyers like you're treating yourself, this is powerful. Like, check this. This was a $8 million listing. So this is, Hollywood Hills, $28 million listing. This is a nightclub in the gentleman's house. We can take that and show potential and turn it back into a living room.
No, I'll take the other one.
Yeah.
You will.
Who does the redesign work? Like, who sits down and reimagines this?
Great question. So we can literally do this off a reference photo, gents. So you could be like, hey, look, you'd upload that nightclub photo. You jump on Google and find, even if it's just one photo, and go, I love that furniture. I love the paint scheme. I love the flooring. Can you just mold that into that image? And we'll do it for you.
Interesting.
If we're knocking out walls and doing all that sort of thing, as much info as you can give us, the better. If you can give us a floor plan, great. If you can give us measurements, even better. We can measure photos as well, just for reference. That's how we get the scale right with all our furniture. It's CGI. We measure things like ceiling heights, windows, door frames. That's how the scale's right. So we'll never put, a 10-seat sofa bed or sofa, where only a 2-seat is going to fit. So there's nothing misrepresenting about it. We add in shadowing. It's as real as a real thing.
Yeah, my favorite is the lens that somebody will use, a lens and an angle that makes it look like this couch and there's a coffee table and there's a TV and you actually go in the room and there's like 18 inches between the coffee table and the wall with the TV on it, and you're just like, why would you even do that? So this is absolutely amazing. I mean, I'm in the mortgage space, so I deal more with the mortgages and mortgage brokers, and I've got friends that specialize in rehabs, right?
Oh.
And I mean, this is amazing. You're buying distressed properties. You're saying, and you're a listing agent, and you're listing it as a rehab property. And I love your idea of Ricardo said put them up on the wall, and I thought that was great. But I really love the idea of like the art easel with like a little board in the middle of the room. So like you're walking into a museum and it's like kind of there and they can visualize it. I think that's super, super powerful. That's going to blow buyers' minds when they walk into those homes.
I think so, because you just got to make the transaction easy, right? As a realtor, you've got all the contacts. Most homeowners don't. Let alone go into a vacant home. A lot of people wouldn't have been into a vacant home before. So being able to, create a vision board of information, either online or when the buyers get there, and your brochures even you're giving people, they can walk away and know they're dealing with a professional.
So Brad, you're obviously a very forward-thinking person. I mean, this technology is cool. I've seen 3D tours for a long time. I remember talking to somebody who was launching Matterport here in Orange County, 6 years ago, maybe. I mean, it's been around. But
Yes.
This still impresses me because what you're doing is just next level. So I got a question for you, maybe not directly related to your business, but given that you are this visionary person who sees the potential in photography, videography, using the digital, we'll just call it the digital medium to sell homes. If I'm a brand new real estate agent who's got maybe my first 2 or 3 listings, either directly I've signed listing agreements or I know they're coming down the hopper, and I'm trying to be different, right? So I don't want to just do what everybody else has done to sell homes. And, I've seen this stuff, box brownie is cool, but like, you want to impact my mindset. What would you tell me?
Okay. So what I would do, I'm just going to go back to my screen. I'll flick through a few options. So remember how we were talking about the smartphone app? So what you should be doing is taking a photo on the outside of a property when you first get there. I'll tell you why in a minute. So imagine when you go to a property, a listing agreement, and you meet them, and then the next day you've taken a photo like this. You can either edit like this, which is, that's kind of cool. But what you really want to do is this one here. So take a photo at the front of the property. Come on, load. It's coming. It's thinking. Laptop's full. So, dusk and twilight photography can actually attract up to 4 times more inquiries. So your hero shot on your MLS needs to be a dusk image. And where we can help is, when you're there, take a photo, and then we'll actually convert it from day to dusk. So how wowed are your clients going to be when the following day, you're seeing them photos of the front of their house, you've somehow turned all the lights on, you've put this sensational sunset in the back of the property, and you're just going to wow them 100%. So that's one option. That is one thing I would do as a realtor, to really stamp my foot down and show them who's the marketing boss. You know what I mean? The second thing I would do, sorry,
real quick, let me interrupt you real quick because I don't want to pass over that too quickly. Are you suggesting that the day before they go to their listing appointment, they take this picture and then they bring it on their listing appointment with them?
Well, look, you know what? You could do that as well, but you could seem like a bit of a stalker. You never know. But look, yes, that's an option. However, even if you did it on the day you met them and go, look, I've got a few surprises for you. Stay tuned in 24, 48 hours, let's just say. But either or, do it before or do it during. You'll get these edits back within 24 hours.
Wow.
You can pick a sunset, which is really cool. That's an option on our website. Like it's because the sunset's differently here in Australia than what it does over in the US. To give you an idea, obviously different colors in the sky. So yeah, that is one option, gentlemen.
I still can't stress like how this is an investment in your future sort of opportunities. When you go to a listing appointment, if you can reference the level of quality or marketing that you do on your listings, like that's gonna increase your chances of walking out with that listing. If you look back at your previous listings and you're not investing that much, or it looks like you're doing not such a great job.
Right. Brad's talking about is breaking the bank here either. This is nominal marketing costs.
Yeah, $4 for one of these. I mean, I'm imagining, guys, how many oh my God, what I'm about to say is going to lose me business. How many times have we come across real estate agents that print on paper on their inkjet at their home the flyer with the black and white photo they took on their phone, all shaking bros.
On their flip phone.
On their flip phone, and you're like, how in God's name did you get this listing? And it's like, if you're up against that, like if I'm a new seller, you are still up against that. Not everybody. A lot of people have wised up, but I mean, geez, Scott, to your point, $4, $4, and you can have an amazing. I mean, gosh.
That's why I'm almost thinking if you set the appointment and you have an appointment the next day, Brad's going to get this thing back to you in 24 hours, take a couple of shots at dusk, have it prepared in your listing appointment for the next day when you go out there. And you can say, these are some of the things we're going to do to make your home more attractive to online consumers. And you show them the stats. I mean, there's some really, really creative stuff here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no reason. I've still got a couple more options up my sleeve, gents. That's just one option. Got plenty of tricks us box brownie guys, but no. So that's one, gents, and the other one I'm going to show you here. Not so big in America. Hopefully you can see that sketch on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So floor plans are a huge thing in Australia, UK. They're huge, and in some other countries abroad, but a lot of people aren't doing them, and they're really easy. So, the easiest way to do it is ask the homeowners when you first get there, hey, have you got a copy of your builder's plans by any chance? And if they do, great. Take a photo on your phone, literally. Nice, to make sure it's not blurry, but take a photo on your phone, upload to us, and we'll create a floor plan for you that looks professional. Of course, if you don't have one, what's stopping you taking 20 minutes out of your time when you're there at the listing appointment? Just sketch up a floor plan with a laser measurer. Doesn't take long. As you can see, we go off sketches. Starts at $24, gentlemen, for black and white. So, how wowed are your potential clients going to be when you rock up the following day with a floor plan of their home and a dusk image of their property? Then thinking, how the hell have they turned our lights on? And how good does that shop look? Even at that investment, let's call it $28 if you just did a black and white version. With a day to dusk image, it's super, super affordable. And what you're looking at here is our 3D option. So once again, even if you did that and one day to dusk image, you're looking at $36 investment that could win you business and get the sale. You could even chuck in a virtual tour, as we spoke about earlier, for an extra $16. And what do we think? 36 plus $16, you could have pretty much your marketing, almost halfway there already the following day. And your clients are going to be like, wow, who is this? Who is this agent? What a super agent they are. Look what they've done already with marketing. Because once buyers see it, once sellers see it, it's really going to speak for itself.
I have a question, Brad. So it seems like you've got such a great eye, and you guys see these things, and you're able to create these images what if I'm a new real estate agent, go back to Ricardo's brand new agent, and I'm not even really sure. Can I take a bunch of pictures and send them to Box Brownie and say, what do you suggest? Like, what package do you suggest can you put together? What kinds of things can you do with it? And is everything a la carte, or do you have, like, if this home is in this price range, we typically recommend this package?
Yeah, look, I think every house is different and everyone markets houses differently. So what we've thought long and hard about how our pricing structure works. Obviously, everyone loves the a la carte, no subscriptions. That's never going to change. Our pricing only ever scales down. It never scales up. So that's the idea of, keeping everyone honest, of course, and giving our clients, the best price always. So we think of us as wholesale direct to the consumers. So we're wholesale pricing where photographers use us and outsource. So we're, very affordable. So realtors, well, we're, let's call it dirt cheap, because that's what we are. Like, you're going straight to the source. But yeah, you can upload a few photos. You can send them to us. If it's your first time using boxbrownie.com, you can request one of our customer service or lead nurturing team to give you a call, and we'll just have a chat like we are now. And you can show us the images and we can be like, yeah, that one's good for this reason. That one's good here. We are all about education. We do have a terrific blog section on our website. So top of the page to the right, click the blog, and we have a lot of information there, gents. If you're best practices on how to take the pictures and the angles so that they're giving you the best materials to start from as possible. Yes, right? So we're all about education, and we have a great product as well. So we love what we do, and we're just here to make anyone's marketing look fantastic. And let's face it, everyone's on their phones these days, just about viewing property. So it's almost like online dating. If you're not looking, hot and sexy, I guess, like they'll be clicking through and looking at that one that does pop. You know what I mean? That one that catches their eye, and that's why that data does get it is so important, because it really does jump out, at the listings online, and that's really your point of difference.
Can you guys touch up my selfies?
I was just gonna say,
mate, be careful.
Your dating profile.
Yes, bro, we can. We have a product called Portrait Retouching. We can remove braces, we can remove pimples, we can remove fine lines, and all blemishes. Makeup, what's a mascara added? We can do that. You name it, man. We do it all.
And then all of Ashley's relatives are going to say, "I didn't know you married Antonio Banderas." All of the pictures.
Can I share a funny story, gents?
That's awesome.
Go for it.
So around Thanksgiving, we get sent a lot of family portraits, let's call it, like, groups of families, and there's always funny comments. Can you please remove such and such? They're no longer dating my daughter. Or can you remove my ex-husband? Blah, blah, blah. And yeah, we get quite creative sometimes. So we don't just work on real estate photos. We work on anything. We do have a general editing tab, and we are specializing now in automotive and let's call it, high-end yacht photography as well. We do a bit of that on the side. We do stuff for online retail. So, when you're looking at online retail and it could be a product of an item, we do all the background removal and make it look white. Like we do everything.
Wow. That's amazing. Well, we've got a few minutes left here, and I would really love to know what you feel like are the trends for tomorrow. So what are the coming trends that we should keep our eye on?
Oh, look, I think you got to be digital. You got to be, I think you got to be nimble. I think if you need to shoot yourself, don't be scared. I truly know that everyone will be shooting on their smartphones. It's already starting, which is a shame for photographers, because, we always highly recommend them. I was one for 16 years, but just with technology, that's just the way it's going. It's, it's not our fault that these phones are getting so good. They've got built-in wide-angle lenses that, these are capturing images. Once we edit them and tell you how to shoot them properly, these are looking like I'm shooting them on my DSLR. Like, we're doing tests now, and it blows my mind, and it's only getting better and better and better. So I truly think that agents should be investing in a good smartphone and they should be buying a 360 camera. To me, that is the future of real estate marketing. Shoot it yourself, have it back within reason the following day, if not hopefully sooner in the near future. And, you're hitting the ground running. You're not waiting a week for your professional photographer to get their images back. That's long gone. If you're doing that, you're losing time and you're probably losing money as well. So that's probably the best tip I can have. Don't be scared of shooting yourself. The quality is great. The turnaround time's even better. And I think just be tech savvy, because we were on trend to do 300 real estate conferences this year. We get around and we fly from Australia, and we're not talking just the US. We spend a lot of time there and we still do it and we love it. But we're now, doing shows in Thailand, UK, everywhere. We travel more than anyone we know on the scene now. And we see a lot of marketing and a lot of what's out there in prop tech. So I think, adapt or die is probably really what I could sort of share with everyone, because if you are scared, I'm sure you're going to be a lot scareder if you miss the boat.
Well, wow. Another thing I'd like to add to this is maybe 7-10 years ago, there was a cost barrier of entry to get access to this kind of technology. So it was like the first flat screen TVs. You remember that, when you went from the 3-foot LED TV to now they're like this thin? Yeah. This is amazing. And what you just said, Brad, is so important. You just need to be tech savvy. This technology is available. It's accessible. It's easier to use than it's ever been. And when you get a professional in charge of this kind of technology, you can produce some absolutely amazing results in a really, really cost-effective price. We talk about this a lot, you guys, on our previous podcast, is quit trying to do everything yourself. It's worth spending a couple of bucks to hire Box Brownie to make your listing look absolutely amazing. You don't need to be doing all of that yourself. Put it in the hands of professionals, and just the cost compared to the value of this stuff is just so absolutely amazing. 10 years ago, you would have had to have a luxury high-end property to make an investment in all of this technology and the 3D printing and stuff. I mean, it would have cost you a lot more than it cost you today.
Oh, definitely. And the quality is only getting better and better. Like, what our editing team can produce is amazing. Even as a photographer, I couldn't do a fraction or most of those edits we spoke about, like especially the CGI stuff. It's mind blowing. It takes years to master that. But even Photoshop, just by replacing skies and grass, etc., it takes time to learn that. It takes hours on the computer. I know, because I did it for like over a decade. So as a realtor, if you're editing photos, I believe you're losing money, because your job is listing and selling property. That's where the big bucks is at. Let's face it. Editing photos is not really where you need to be. If you're doing that, well, I think you could be using your time a lot more wiser.
And I would argue that if you're presenting your property the way that you've shown us today, you're going to easily increase the cost of that home more than what it costs to present it that way, because you're going to increase traffic, you're going to increase competition, you're going to get more attention, more offers, and you're going to drive the price up. So this is an absolute no-brainer. This is super cool. I'm glad. I was excited about this, but I'm blown away. This is great. Thanks, Brad.
Thank you. And I think, by having good marketing online, you're gonna look so awesome. Like you will actually pick up business. You'll get new listings from how good your marketing looks. And this is your profile. This is your online profile. You've got to look great these days. It is what it is. We're living in a digital world, and any home seller is going to look at really good marketing and go, I really want to market with that agent because it stands out. That they're really going to notice it.
Yeah, 100%. Brad Filippino, boxbrownie.com. Thank you so much for being our guest today on the Marketing Trench.
My pleasure, gentlemen. Thank you so much for having us. I had a blast. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. And if you want to check out Brad's website, it is boxbrownie.com. Boxbrownie.com is where you can go to engage their services, check out all that they have to offer. If you want to listen to previous podcasts of the Marketing Trench, marketingtrench.fm is your website to visit. That's where we talk about other technologies and other tools and other ideas that we've presented here in the trench for marketing your property. They can go hand in hand with some of this really great technology that Brad has featured here today. Please do give us a rating and a review on your favorite app. That really helps us to grow our show. We would greatly appreciate that. And of course, check out our sister podcasts over at realdisrupt.com. We're proud members of the Real Disrupt Podcast Collaborative. So visit realdisrupt.com to listen to other amazing podcasts. Guys, it's been a real pleasure. Thanks again, Brad. Loved having you here. Until next time, this has been The Marketing Trench.
Yeah.
Check.